Hello YouTube and welcome back to another dashcam drive through a town in South Carolina. Today we're visiting the town of Pageland, South Carolina in Chesterfield County. Pageland is a rather larger, it's a rather large town for Chesterfield County standards. It's got about 3,000 people that call it home. Well, really, I would say Pageland, Chesterfield, and Sherall are all bigger towns and cities, and the other towns are much smaller. But under 3,000 people, not very big all the same. Pageland is home to a watermelon festival that is held every third weekend in July. And they take it pretty serious around here, that watermelon festival. Another watermelon festival is held in Hampton, South Carolina. I've been to that. I have not made it to Pageland for their festival. Maybe I should. What we'll do is we'll just kind of ride, look at downtown, and then I'll go to the town of Pageland.com and get the history of the town. Something big over there to the left looks like a nice new building. I'm not quite sure what that was. It's been over a week since I filmed this. There's KJ's Market, which is typically an IGA. Old Bilo, though, is what it used to be, that building, I can tell. Bilo, the name fits. Bilo hasn't been in operation in a long time now. So, looks pretty coming into downtown. A lot of nice trees. Looks like the homes are pretty well taken care of. Just generally looks pretty good. And here is downtown. Pageland is not very far from Charlotte, North Carolina. The mural on the left there of a train. And there is the Pageland mural. Looks nice. Watermelons. There, that's downtown Pageland. Alright, so now let's go back to the website townofpageland.com where they got history. I believe the same person that wrote Patrick's probably wrote this because it's in the same kind of format. It's pretty long. So, here we go. In 1793, Thomas Sumter Jr. received a state grant which included what is now known as the Pageland area west to the Lynch's River. Several other settlers also obtained similar grants for their smaller homesteads about the same time. Among them was John Blankeny. In 1816, Mr. Blankeny built a house near a crossroads, which is now the town center of Pageland, McGregor and Pearl Streets. He had previously opened a trading post, which gave the name Old Store Township to the surrounding community. About 1860, Blankeny's Crossroads became known as Gold Mine Post Office. Blankeny's store was used as the mustering place for the volunteering for service in the Confederacy in the war between the states. Following the war, Henry J. Fox came to the area buying land. He lived in the Blankeny House, and it soon became known as the Fox House or the Fox Place. In 1890, Pageland was known as Irvington Post Office. The reason for this remains unclear, and there are 3 houses in the immediate area. So we're a lot bigger than 3 houses nowadays, as you can tell. In 1904, word was received of the impending approach of a railroad. The people were so excited by this, they named the town Pageland, after Captain Dolly Page, promoter of the railroad. On December 3rd, 1907, papers were filed with the Secretary of State of South Carolina, who commissioned Samuel Isham Evans, Gary H. Watts, and James R. Cato to provide for the registration of all electors within the proposed corporate limits of said town, and to appoint 3 managers to hold an election. The papers were filed by Robert Hugh Blankeny, Thomas Edgar Cato, Lee Cato, Raymond E. Ogborn, Samuel Isham Evans, William John Blankeny, James Russell Cato, Gary H. Watts. I'm only reading these now because I feel disrespectful if I stop. Robert Allen Carpenter, and William Jenkins. Alright, so that's basically how the town became. There's a lot more legal jargon down there and whatnot, but we're moving on. Alright, so that's the history of the town of Pageland. And as you saw, we went kind of in the business area of town, and now we're quickly exiting the town, heading towards. There's some sort of animated object there on the right. I wish I would have saw what that was. We're heading towards Mount Croghan on SC9 at this point. SC9 is Sea Mountain Highway. It goes from the sea at Cherry Grove to the mountains of Spartanburg County. But anyway, that was Pageland, South Carolina.